Good morning, everybody. Today is September 14th, Monday. After a rough Vikings day, I'm at a loss of words today, but unfortunately, I had to muster up the courage to come before you to talk about this. And for the next couple minutes, we're going to talk about the Vikings. This is going to be very painful for some of us Vikings fans because I have a lot of Green Bay fans. And I also have a lot of people around here at Botwell's who love the Packers, so I got blistered this morning coming in. So you can thank the Vikings for that. So there was so much stuff that we don't have really a lot of time. I mean, we can spend a couple minutes on each thing, but I did look over the paper, Viking related stuff, and I mean, I'm gonna put this paper up here real quick because there's some pretty cool sports shots here. And yeah, they got a shot of the Vikings. I mean, they did a really good job on some of the pictures, and that's but down that is Dalvin Cook. No, yeah, that is yep, that's touchdown. No, that's the rookie. That's Dantzler, number 27, one of our rookie cornerbacks that had a rough time yesterday against some of the Vikings, the Packers wide receiver. That's one of our rookies. His name is Cameron Dantzler. He's number 27. So you'll see a lot of him because they don't really have anything else left to go. But I want to take time to look at the bottom of this page because it says woeful distancing. And they're talking about some of Mike Zimmer's worst defensive games under our head coach. And yesterday, for the most points, this is the worst defensive games of Mike Zimmer era, who's our head coach. It says yesterday versus Green Bay, we gave up 43 points, and we scored 34. Okay, that's one. There's 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of them here, and this is for most points. And then there's one for October 2014 at Green Bay. We gave up 42, and that was in a loss. The third one is December 6, 2015 versus Seattle. We gave up 38 points. And then we have another Green Bay one here for December 24, 2016 at Green Bay. We gave up 38 points. And September 27, 2018 at the Rams, we gave up 38 points. So that's for the most points that we've given up on defense. And then below there, there's, like I said, the list goes on and on and on, and I'm not going to get into that, but let's just say that they have for most yards down here, and there's 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So you can look at, as Patty's zooming in, you can look at that, and that's for the most yards. And I will say that reading this, there are a lot of people who have been very, very upset with Mike Zimmer's defense because supposedly he's supposed to be a defensive guru and he's supposed to be so great on defense. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, this is awful. This is awful. And again, like I said, I just did some few things in the paper here. And here's another one right up here. It says Vikings offense is barely seen or heard, which means that they did not, it says right here, it says, yes, the defense gave up 9 explosive plays, runs of 12 or more yards, and completions of 16 yards or more, including gains of 21, 24, 39, 40, and 45. We gave up big yardage like that with our defense, and I tell you, this is painful. This is painful for me to talk about, but anyway, that paper just summarizes. I'll just give a brief overview because I'm not going to sit here and ramble on and on. Our defense is terrible. Our offense is terrible. And we didn't get anything out of Dalvin Cook. And the reason why they couldn't run the ball effectively is because our offense couldn't pass effectively. Kirk Cousins in the first half, our offense couldn't get anything going. So you have to imagine that if your offense can't go, you can't get any points or anything good in the first half with your offense. You better hope your defense is good. And it was just like a messy scrambled egg being put together. It didn't work. And my analogy is people have to understand that Kirk Cousins is an average quarterback. They knew this when they signed him, because I heard last night a lot of people complaining about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is part of the problem. He's not all of the problem. And you remember when we had David Emerson last week, he talked a little bit about some inconsistencies with the offensive line. Our offensive line hasn't been very great. You know, we have one decent wide receiver, which is Adam Thielen, and he's number 19 if you guys don't know. He's number 19. He's our star receiver. You got to remember, we don't have Diggs anymore, and I think without having Diggs, it hurts the offense, because at least with Diggs, we could stretch the field, and Kirk Cousins would have more options to do stuff on offense. You have to remember, when you get rid of one superstar wide receiver and you only have one, teams are going to double team him, they're going to triple team him, and then you have to find options to go otherwhere. And in the first half, Kirk Cousins couldn't find anyone. There was a lot of 3 and outs. Then the defense, just as I said in that paper, the defense gave up 9 total explosive plays, and we couldn't run the ball effectively. And when you can't do that, it makes it for a hard time to do. So, in summary, that was a poopy game for the Vikings, and you know, I can't put it any other way. I mean, I could go over and over again about this, and I knew when I was thinking about this yesterday, I knew I had to come in front of you guys in the camera and face the music, and I really didn't want to do it under this circumstance. So, I'm just gonna say that the Vikings better figure it out.
What about next week?
Next week, I believe we are on the road against the Indianapolis Colts from Indianapolis, and that's a noon start on Fox 9. As you know, most of our games will be on Channel 9, Fox 9, so check your listings, but it's another noon game. We'll be on the road. And with Indianapolis, I watched Indianapolis play. They're pretty good. So my chances with the Colts, I think the Vikings can win that game, because the Colts are not as good as the Packers, you know, obviously. And I think we have a shot at that. So we'll have to see what happens. But in order for here's the deal. The only way the Vikings are going to win is they're going to have to put pressure on the quarterback. Again, you know, to talk about the game, they had no pressure on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was back there all day long looking for, you know, wide receivers. And when you don't put pressure on the quarterback to throw early or to make mistakes, you're not going to win. You can't get any blitz on him or any pass rush on him. We didn't have no pass rush on any Aaron Rodgers at all. He ended up having almost 400 yards passing with like 4 touchdowns. So that should tell you about our defense. So my advice to Mike Zimmer is, first of all, I think he should really call me and let me run the game plan and let me run the defense, because if I had a chance to talk to him, you need to hire me. You need help, brother. You need help, because it's not working. That offense is not working. And, like I said, I was yelling at the TV yesterday, screaming. So anyway, that's a long story for another time. But anyway, I was just very disappointed in what I saw. So hopefully we can rebound next week and be cheery. I'm going to try to be positive. You know, I have to get this out of my system first. But I'm hoping we can be positive about it. So hopefully the Vikings can get it together next week. So we got another game next week. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed, and maybe hopefully we'll be talking about a Vikings win next week. So let's be positive. So enough of that. I got that out of off my chest and out of my system now. So, and better news that the Minnesota Twins actually swept Cleveland Indians this weekend. So that's actually really good. So we're doing pretty good with that. I'm not going to get into specific things. I did see that they did hang on. They almost gave up the game yesterday, but they hung on to win it. I think it was like 8-4 or something like that, 8-5 or something like that. So it was a pretty good game against Cleveland. Cleveland had one of their good pitchers on the mound, so I think we did extraordinary well. So it was a pretty good game. So the Twins won that. We swept Cleveland, and I just want to take a look here at the paper here. I believe, I don't mean to go away from you, but I believe the Twins, I think they play against the Chicago White Sox coming up, if I can get to it here. There's a schedule right here. There's a sports planner. We got a 4-game set with the White Sox, and the White Sox are in first place. So starting today, Monday the 14th, Tuesday the 15th, Wednesday the 16th and Thursday. It's a 4-game set, and it's at Chicago.
They're all like 7 o'clock games?
Yep, they're all 7 o'clock games. Yep, they're all 7 p.m. games, and that's on Fox Sports Net. So check.
Those be good games?
Those are going to be really good games because Chicago, as you know, Chicago White Sox is an up-and-coming surprise team. I think when we started this sports show, when I told you one of the dark horses in our division was going to be the Chicago White Sox, and they are on fire. They've won a lot of their games. I believe they're in first place. They are in first place in our division. So they're number 1. We're number 2. So this is going to be a big, big series starting tonight. So I'm really, really hoping that we can win at least 3 of the 4. It'd be nice to win all 4 games, but we're not going to try to be perfectionists here. If we could get 3 of the 4, that'd be great. So this is a big series for us, and there's not very many games left in the season, I believe. So we're getting close to the end. So I want everybody to cheer those Minnesota Twins on, and we'll see what happens with that. So there isn't really too much to report on that other than they did sweep Cleveland, and it was a great series. I believe they swept them. There was 3 games against Cleveland, so we ended up winning all 3 of them. So that's good. So on to the next. So so now we're going to talk about a little WNBA basketball. Our Minnesota Lynx have clinched the 4th spot in the playoffs for this week, so they will not play until Thursday. I'm not sure what time it is, but they qualified for a first round bye, so they won't be playing until Thursday. So the WNBA playoffs start this week. I'm not sure who their opponent is going to be yet. That's to be determined, because I looked in the paper and they didn't have an opponent yet. But so the Lynx are doing pretty well. Let's hope they can do. But to be in the 4th spot is really good. To be in the top 4 is really good, especially with Sylvia Fowles is still out. Their tall center. She's still recovering from that calf injury. She's been out for like 10 games, so she hasn't played, and the team has done really, really well. I watched them the other night and wrap up the season, and they actually played really, really well. So let's hope we get some momentum going into that. I want to talk about Big Ten football, which is the Gophers, our division. It sounds like they're going to take a vote today, and anonymous sources are saying that I think we're going to have Big Ten football starting October 17th and going all the way through December. So the Board of Regents is all going to take a vote again today, and it seems like they're going to reconsider. And my feeling on that is that's great, but what you should have did is just voted the first time and agreed to do it instead of having to do it now. And I think they're doing this because they're getting a lot of backlash from the parents of the kids. The kids want to play. You're getting a lot of Big Ten schools giving them backlash. So it sounds like we're gonna probably have Big Ten football next month. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know how that's gonna go. That's just So that means that if they do that, they're only going to play, it sounds like they're only going to play 8 or 9 conference games. In conference games, meaning playing like teams like Wisconsin, Nebraska, teams in our conference. We're only going to probably play 8 or 9 games. Then after the 8 or 9 games, then they're going to probably go all the way till December. And then, they're going to have the college playoffs start. So it's probably going to be a short, abbreviated season, and I think a lot of teams are doing that because, this past weekend there were a lot of college football games on, and I'm starting to see more games pop up. So it looks like college football is trying to go forward and stuff like that. So the one thing I will say quickly is with the NFL COVID-19 structure, they did say there has been 0 cases going forward. They are being tested every day, practice and at the games. So they're being tested. They went inside. The Vikings showed their setup in their building, how they have the COVID testing, and they have a rapid COVID test that can detect COVID in 10 minutes, which I find, if that's the case, why don't we have these all over the place so then we can know right away? And who knows? But they said it can detect COVID like within 10-15 minutes. So they're being tested every day, and this isn't just at the Vikings facility. This is the NFL overall. And they said for the first week going into the games, they had 0 cases. So let's hope that works. I mean, if that works, that's great, because I think we need football. We need something to talk about. I mean, a lot of people like football. Baseball is cool, but a lot of us like football. So, and the same thing with the NBA. The NBA just released their COVID test, and they have 0 cases as well, too. So
They're in that bubble.
they're in that bubble. So I think that if there is I think the NFL is talking to the NBA, because I think if, once the playoffs start, this is a long ways out, but if we do continue to have pro football and they have a playoff, I think they're going to probably have to adopt a bubble situation too. So we'll see how that goes. Still not a lot of fans in stadiums yet. There are a few NFL stadiums that are having fans, so we'll see. Would have been nice for us, because we would have had some crowd noise there. It may have helped, but again, another situation for another time. But so that's what's going on with that. What else what I was gonna discuss in the sports world? I haven't heard too much other than the Twins baseball's been going really, really well. I think there've been very few cases of COVID, so I haven't heard anything else. So basketball, I believe I've heard college basketball is trying to get set up, so we'll see what has to go with that. So anyway, I don't know. I wanted to open up the floor again. My buddy David, I couldn't catch him today, because I would have loved to have heard his analysis on the Vikings. I'm sure he's probably mad or disappointed too, so that's probably why I haven't seen his face. But I have ask some questions. Maybe I have a question for you. What do you guys think about the Vikings? Maybe that's what I would like to ask. Instead of you asking me a question, I want to know your thoughts. So maybe you can call Patty and maybe, leave a message. What do you think is the problem with the Vikes from what you saw? If you watched the game, what did you see that stood out to you? Again, with me, it's inconsistent defense. The lack of being able to get a pass rush for me is the #1 key against Aaron Rodgers, as we were talking about earlier. If you can't have pressure on a quarterback, you're in for a long day.
What exactly is pass rush?
Pass rush is when you're blitzing, you're coming with pressure up the middle or on the side, or you're coming with a blitz. A blitz package is when they're sending a lot of guys to come after Aaron Rodgers. But the problem is, if you don't have a pass rush, our pass rush when we're on defense, we didn't sack Aaron Rodgers. We weren't able to sack him. And that's the problem. He's a big-time quarterback. If you can't put a quarterback on the ground and get sacks or interceptions or deflections or, pass rush, get him nervous, they're going to sit back there all day and be able to pass to their players. And that's what you saw. That's what you saw Sunday. You saw no pass rush, no defense. Their defense was not very good, and we gave up a lot of plays. And to win a game, you have to get pass rushes. You have to be able to confuse the quarterback, on the other team, and we didn't do that. We didn't do that at all. So 0. And like I said, I was not a very happy camper yesterday. It was a very rough Sunday evening for me. So, but again, we're gonna have to try to figure that out. We're gonna have to try to be positive, and we're gonna have to move on to Indianapolis, because, as the paper said, it's one game. We have to see how this translates. So, but for week 1, they get an F. So I'm very sorry they get an F from me. So I'm not even giving them a D-. So, and I know I'm a tough cookie to please when it comes to things like that. But we have to run the ball better. We have to protect better. We have to, be able to get Thielen the ball, because again, I told you guys, he's our star player. We have to be able to get him in the ball. And you saw in the second half, they were down so many points that they couldn't run the ball anymore. They had to come out and pass. And you've seen a couple nice touchdown passes from Cousins late in the fourth quarter, but by that time it was too little too late. So you have to do that right away. You can't wait till 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes in the fourth quarter to start getting touchdowns. You gotta take care of it, and you gotta get on it. And I think we had a very bad slow start, and that's what I was afraid of going into this game. So you have to remember that. And we didn't have any preseason games, so you didn't have any tune-up games to get ready either. So, and that's tough when you have 2 rookie cornerbacks on the defense, and they have no you know, they haven't had a preseason, so you throw them right into the fire, you know. So, you know, I'm trying to cut them a little slack, you know. So, well, like I said, I just wanted to check in with you guys and, you know, ask me some questions if you have a question, you know, about the game or if it's sports related or what do I think about a certain sports topic. I would love to answer questions. I'm hoping after this terrible game, there will be a lot of questions that we can talk about next time, you know, going into this. But it's been a pleasure to talk with you today. Like I said, there's most of the paper is about the Vikings. So, like I said, I could sit here for an hour and talk to you about that, but that's not necessary. So, make sure you check the Twins game out. Remember, the Twins start their 4-game series with the Chicago White Sox. 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Net. Make sure you watch that. I think that's going to be a great series and an exciting series. And, you know, maybe next week we can be talking about the first place Twins, and maybe we can be talking about a Vikings win against the Indianapolis Colts this weekend coming up. So with that, I appreciate it. Thanks again to Patty and her great staff, Amy, all the people that put us on here. And I just want to say it's a privilege to be able to do this and to talk to you and, you know, babble about sports, because you know about me around here at the campus. I'm the sports guy, so, you know, that's what I do well. So, again, I will see you guys next week at the same time, same bat channel. And, again, ask some questions. And until next time, Sports Talk, this has been Sports Talk with Corey. Have a good day. Bye-bye now.